All right, guys, so I just wanted to give you some study tips that I've discussed with a few students, but I think it is good for everybody to be on the same page. So just a few pointers for studying for either prepping for tests or prepping for the PANCE. So one, to make sure that you're doing your reading before the lectures. This gets you, kind of gets your mind right. It gets you thinking about pertinent questions to ask your instructor, and it really increases your in-depth knowledge of the subject matter, and it will ultimately make you a better physician assistant when you graduate. Two, you need to do your objectives probably prior to lecture. I think the best way to complete objectives is to do it as a group. So find a group of about 6 people. When I was in school, we created a Google Drive, which was super helpful at everybody kind of sharing. I think each of us would take 4 to 6 objectives, and then by the end of the module, you had them all done. You could review them right before the test, and you didn't have to spend an insane amount of time on objectives. So that was really helpful. You can also do that for the farm kind of tables that Joel has also, which is helpful. Let's see, 3, you want to review the PowerPoint just directly after your lecture. Also, while you're listening to the PowerPoint, you should be taking actual notes, not notes on the keyboard. You should actually be writing handwritten notes. This is going to increase your retention. It is also going to allow you to write down some things that the instructor may mention verbally, but are not actually in the PowerPoint. So this is really important. Another thing is to use your review books. So after you've done all those things, then go to the review books. Make sure that you're really focusing on the high yield material, which is always going to be in the review books. Got a couple extra resources. So, well, as far as review books go, the PANCE Prep Pearls is a good book. Smarty Pants is a good review book, and the Comprehensive Review is a very concise review book. I've even put those on audio file in the form of a voice memo that I'll listen to when I'm driving, which is super helpful because it's you kind of talking yourself through that review book, and it really kind of cements those concepts in your brain. There's another few resources out there that I wanted to let you guys know. Great YouTube videos. So Paul Bolin, MD. So Paul Bolin put together a bunch of videos basically for doctors who were getting ready to take step 1 and or step 2, which is the USMLE prep that they do. Step 1 really correlates closely with the Blueprint PANCE. So Paul Bolin really does a great job of reviewing difficult concepts in depth. And I think that's a great source of information, particularly for subjects that you might struggle with. EM Basic Podcast is a podcast that's put together from a gentleman that's in the U.S. military. And the EM Basic Podcast covers all sorts of emergency medicine topics and other topics from really an EM focus. So this is great for like prep before your emergency medicine rotation, or really any review of the big concepts, and actually more clinically based. And then last, for like your anatomy and really understanding some physiology, those handwritten tutorials are a really great tool to use as well. So I just wanted to give you guys some study tips that I have given to a few students, but I wanted to share it with the entire class. So I hope you can benefit from these, and I wish you all well. Thanks.